Hello guys, and welcome to another F1 video where I have some explaining to do. So we're going to do another F1 My Team career mode sort of thing this time, but we're gonna skip Australia, do something that I haven't done before. I mean, I have done before, but basically I raced Vietnam, spent about 6.5 hours recording it, and then my computer decided to kill it. So I have zero recording of Vietnam. We didn't do well. It was so frustrating because I didn't have flashbacks and kept having to restart, and yeah, it was bad. So we are going to restart the whole season. We are basically the same team. We have a different teammate. We have a Honda powered engine instead, and a few different chassis upgrades, as you see. Or you can read and pause this as we go through this, but yeah, and right after this I think it cuts to the car reveal, so off we go after the loading screen. Nope, we are going to skip time and go through activities and all that. Hopefully you can't hear my dishwasher in the background because I'm recording this while running that. But yeah, so we have a new team, kind of, new sponsors, same livery, slightly different actually. Hopefully a cooler livery than I had before. Yeah, because I had it on the Vietnam, but then never fixed it. So here's the car. Okay, so this is a longer video, I apologize. It's just, we had actually a pretty good race. It was actually quite fun. But yeah, we're gonna skip and go along to the race weekend, do some R&D. An R&D part failed in the engine, which was a bummer. It wasn't a great way to start out the R&D sort of project that we have throughout this my team. But this is quali 2, because quali 1 didn't record, or I more forgot to record it. This is lap 1 of qualifying 2. We got 15th, so we barely made it. We are on 80 difficulty. I think I might turn it up. Ooh, little screen stutter. But I think I might turn it up a little bit because a new team shouldn't be getting 15th. But you'll see what happens later. Yeah, so we're going through this into the flat straight. I forgot to record the first half of this, so you're only seeing the second. I think I end up doing another one as we run wide through turn 9 into turn 10. Maybe I have that wrong. He's going to third, slight lockup, but not too much. But this is definitely the banking lap of quali 2. Charles Leclerc does a 1:29.0. We're not gonna get first by any means. Max Verstappen goes 1:27. My best time is 1:37. Yeah, 1:30.7. Then yeah, we fade into the garage for later in that quali session. Qualifying 1, we had a cooling fault, so that wasted 7 minutes of my time, but that's okay because there's this magical fast forward button. But it's not a great way to start that. But yeah, so we skip forward to I guess our teammate reveal. I thought I wouldn't show that until the end, but Anthony Hubert, who, yeah, he was cheap, but he looked good. He had good pace, and hopefully he does well for the race weekend.
Welcome to the 2020 Formula One World Championship. Here we are at the first race of what should be another thrilling season. I think the action this year will be very, very close, but as always with F1, you can never be too sure. Anyway, let's get started. We go racing today around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10.
So whoever can keep on top of their issues will have the advantage today.
As I mentioned earlier, we're up to 11 teams this season, with a new entry run by, well, of all things, an owner-driver. That's something we haven't seen in this sport since Hector Raback over 4 decades ago. So how are they looking so far?
It's hard to imagine how a small operation like that could survive in the ruthless world of Formula One. And yet here they are, first ever race looking surprisingly strong. But there are no points for qualifying. Let's see how they fare in the Grand Prix proper.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Albon, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Perez, Vettel, Ricciardo and Pierre Gasly, Fiat, Ocon, Max Verstappen and Magnussen, Campbell, Russell, Romain Grosjean and Kimi Raikkonen, Hubert, Giovinazzi, Latifi and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Alright, so off to the track we go. I think I also fast forward through selecting my tires. Oops, sorry, I did not mean to hit that. I just slapped my mic. We do go for a one-stop medium to hard. It is Bahrain, so tire wear is high. It's a brand new car. I actually changed the, I think we did a 2-stop last time, so this is new content. Yeah, but off we go. We did change it, so I have assisted starts this time. Hopefully you can still hear me. Let's see, and off we go. We actually get a good start. Spin some wheels in third and fourth gear, down into 14th already. Go around the outside where it's Bahrain turn 1, so you can gain about 8 places. Into turn 2 we go wide, but Gasly's still right behind us. Down, Vettel is already pulling away. You can see the time or the pace difference that we have between Gasly. Gasly slides down the inside and I just back out. It's a long race. I didn't want to end up with any front wing damage on the first lap, which we haven't so far, so that is good. Hopefully we can keep doing that and go from there, but we'll see how that goes anyway. We're down into, now what is this, turn 9, and we lock our front right hand side tire down the back straight into turn 11. We're half a second, 3/10 of a second. We used a little overtake maybe to catch up there, but I am running like a customized setup, so we might be fast in this down the straights. And now we're into turn 12 or turn 13, sorry. Down the real back straight, more or less. There's a lot of straights in this. There's like the back straight, the middle straight, the turn 3 straight, and the turn 15 straight that we are just exiting onto. Yeah, you going up into overtake and Rich Mix in 10th place. No one has pitted, no one has crashed. There's no yellow flags so far, so that's good. Our teammate is back in 13th place, if I see that right. Behind Kvyat. Oh, and we're spinning. Yeah. So there's our first accident on lap 2. It only took 2 laps, but that exit out of 2 into 3, I just haven't, the car just slides around. It's unbalanced, and yeah, it's a new car. We'll get that figured out. Definitely need to get a recentering of the, ooh, that's another rough corner taking. Okay. Well, now it is recovery drive, but don't know how high we can get in a recovery drive at this rate. We're already basically a turn behind everyone, and after this it's gonna go into DRS train that modern F1 has turned into. Even in this game, the amount of time that you gain by DRS on this game, especially at Bahrain, is ridiculous. But we're here, we're gonna keep going and hope for the best and see how it goes, because it's 27 more laps and we have to catch up, basically. That's what we're gonna do for the rest of the race. We are on the 1 stop, but I'm not sure too many people are gonna be on a 2 stop. I still have to decide if I like 15 or 25% or 50% races. This is a 50%, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. So off we go into magical time-lapse mode, which it's a lot to record the replay mode and then like do all that. So I just fast forward it this way. There are no engine noises. All you get is my boring voice, but we're gonna go off and catch up Latifi. We've caught up back into half a second. He's a little slow for some reason around that corner, but he gets a better exit, which I need to practice on that turn because I lose a lot of time over that. But I'm gonna keep going. You can see that I'm a little loose in some turns. This turn specifically, the 1 into 2 sort of thing, I always lose the rear end. Yeah, there, like that. We have a snap of oversteer, a small little tang slapper, and lose a second. And that's kind of that. But we're already back in. Hopefully keep catching. It's lap 4. We have 25 more laps of this race, so we have plenty of time to catch up. We have a whole pit stop at lap 12, I think it was, when we were supposed to pit. But down into turn 4. No. Turn 8, now into turn 9 and 10. That's 9, this is 10. We lock up with the left front, but we're right on Latifi. We have DRS, he has DRS, maybe not. No, he does not. Now we fast forward to the next straight because I had an overtake and had to undo that, and then we just decided to back out of it. But anyway, we move on to the next straight, and we're in Rich and overtake with DRS. I pronounced that right this time. We're gonna go way down the inside, and it's way too late on the brakes. We kind of get ahead of him, but we give the position back because I kind of felt bad for that one. He has DRS off me, even though I'm behind him, because at the detection point I was ahead. So he's off, but I guess we're better in the turns than he is because I'm basically pushing him through this turn and then back out of that because I didn't want to wing damage. We are basically all the way next, in the next lap, but yeah, so now we're back into this turn where we will have DRS this time. He will not because he's 3.7-ish seconds off the lead. I am losing so much time trying to get by him. I'm kind of getting impatient at this point. We're going to go around. I'm run a little wide, but get a better exit out that turn. And then into this turn, we're still going. And we are going to go around the outside to keep on the track, unlike Max Verstappen. And we got the job done, finally. About time, right? Now we're gonna fast forward on to lap 7. Sorry, I looked away for a second. Up to Giovinazzi, where we are now half a second behind him. We're also going to get DRS off of him, but he's not going to get off the car ahead because he has 1.6 seconds. Now we're into Rich, overtake and DRS and go just down the inside. He doesn't even go defensive. There are people coming out of the pit lane, and now we're about to be 3 wide, almost 3 wide. They're 2 wide ahead and 2 wide behind. It was 2 by 2 for a second. We are just marching onto Noah's Ark, but we are down. We do not get DRS of Leclerc. Giovinazzi doesn't. He does get DRS off of us, but it doesn't even matter. There is a little proximity arrow into our inside, but that's okay because we get the job done and keep the job done. We're down onto Raikkonen. We're within DRS range of Raikkonen now, but he's gonna get DRS range of everyone else. Maybe Leclerc is 1.3 seconds ahead of him. We're 7/10ths back now, so we are gonna keep DRS. It's just a DRS train once again, except yeah, Raikkonen does get it. I thought Leclerc was more than a second back, but he must have not been. And down into this turn, we go wide once again. I thought Raikkonen was slow, so I just went the safe route. We're into turn 12 and now 13. We're gonna go down the inside, get our elbows out, and have lots of contact with Leclerc, but we gave him a space, so I'm not really sure why he came in on us, but he did. It was a little bit of a dive and a half, and I thought he would be pass me, and I would have to overtake him, but it was 2 cars in one turn instead of 1 car. And now we have DRS once again. That's like the name of the game. Off of Russell, we think about it. We have a tiny little look, but end up going around the outside, just like we did of his other teammate into turn 12. This time it is into turn 2, and we get a massive tank slapper. And now Leclerc and Russell and Raikkonen are on our tail. Leclerc and Russell are past, they're too wide. Raikkonen is trying to come up the inside, but doesn't do it. We're into this infield section more or less, and right on the back of Russell, right on his gearbox. He's right on Leclerc's gearbox, who is right on, I can't see his name, thank you, Jeff, for that kind interruption. But we are once again get DRS. We spin the tires out of turn 10. Yes, turn 10 and into turn 11. We're not wide this time, but we're going to skip ahead 2 turns or 2 laps because I'm still behind him. We go down the inside, run a little wide, and give the position back. We get a horrible exit, and he's already half a tenth ahead. That is not what I wanted, but it is what it is. We are catch up with DRS Rich and overtake mode. He goes defensive. I'm going to try and go around the outside like we did him last time, but he defends quite well that time. I for once don't get a tank slapper out of turn 3, and we're down this straight into turn 4. Down into turn 4, we're late on the brakes and right back on his gearbox. He does get a better exit, I think, than we did, but into turn 6 now, is it right? Turn 6 into 7, and then is this turn 8? Yes, turn 8, where our engine is boiling under 28 Celsius, but we're still right on him. Jesus, what the heck happened there? We skipped that straight forward for some reason, I forget why, but we're right back onto his gearbox. I think it meant to fast forward, but it didn't, so I might be a little off on the audio. Hopefully I'm not, but we're gonna try and go around the outside for the 3rd attempt, and 3rd time is the charm. Maybe down the straight we're going to activate DRS. He does not have DRS this time, and we're going to skip forward once again because it was just side by side for a little while. And now we're back onto Magnussen, where we are coming down this straight. We get Durs some more into turn 11. I think that's turn 11. Yes, it is turn 11. Right onto Magnussen. Magnussen is struggling. He gets a little twitch, but not too much. He loses back end through that turn as well. And on the power, I get a better exit. We're right on him once again, but I'm low on ERS, so I use it late in the straight. He tries to go block me, but it didn't work. I was already alongside, and then I'm forced onto the curb and get a bad exit off of that. He's already ahead of me once again. This is for the points. Fake left and go right. Verstappen, you can see, has already pitted and is already right behind us. Russell, and there were a lot of names changing. Stroll is now ahead of Leclerc instead of Sainz. And we're gonna go flying off into a time lapse real quick because we sit in this place for a while, and we're now for half a second, 3/4 of a second as we go into turn 14. I think that is. I need to pull up back on my track map honestly. But we are going to pit shortly because we are facing some tire wear. I'm just driving, basically just found a pace and went there for the rest of the race, as much as the rest of the race, as we slide off the track, but also don't slide off the track. Good job editing me. It isn't a time lapse, so oh well. But we're into the pits, onto the hard tires, and out. It was a good stop, 1.8 seconds. That was quick, because let's see, Red Bull does about a 2-second stop in 0Gs. But anyway, we're gonna go and check some pit stops and all that, and see where exactly we are in the field, because we're on hard tires, but other people have to pit. We're actually Hubert overcuts us Now we're going to be in 16th instead of 15th because I guess I lost a lot of time sitting in traffic, and yeah, that is that. But we're within DRS range once again, but we're so low on ERS range, or ERS in general. We can't use any battery for a decent amount of this. We've run out of a lot, and okay, I guess we just sat behind him for a while, but we're back in our 10th place. We had some overtakes, but it wasn't a lot of action, so we skip ahead to lap 26 as we're still flying along. We now have 50% ERS and no DRS ahead, but we're now fighting along with Norris. Norris goes around our outside, then the next turn he goes down our inside, we go down his inside the next turn after that, and down this DRS straight we defend with battery, but we're low on battery once again. Ricardo is right there now. Ricardo goes by, and then I throw one down the inside. I don't know why I still have some time lapse, but that's okay. Hopefully you can understand all of this, and we come out of the time lapse into second gear, down into turn 10, I think that is.
Vettel is ahead of you.
Down the straight, we're once again using Marbat. I accidentally pressed box slap, but the car in front is Vettel, and we're no way close to Vettel at all. Our team is brand new, and we might be able to get some points. Hopefully we get some points, but I have no idea. Norris is in a much faster car. I should not be in 10th place, but we are. Don't seem like real speed after that time lapse for so long, but that's okay. Anyway, Norris is half a second behind us. He's quicker. He's on medium tires. Ricardo's on hard tires, but we're both going to the end of the race, obviously, as this is the final lap of the race, as Jeff tells you. Thank you. He goes down the inside. Late on the brakes we go. Give him room. I gave him plenty of room, and then come back up the outside. We get that job done. We now have DRS. I'm a little late. Oh, and we're out of fuel. A little late on the DRS. We're low on battery, low on fuel. Using a lot of fuel right now to defend down that. We're back in standard fuel. Jeff lets us know. Norris peeks his nose, but doesn't go down. He loses a lot of time. There might have been contact. I don't think there was, but anyway, we continue down into turn 9. We're once again almost a second ahead, 8/10 ahead on a good part, 7/10 now. Ricardo's within DRS and Norris, so they could get a double pass on us. We're out of fuel basically, and now I'm changing the wrong things. And we fast forward to turn 14, I think that is. Turn 13, down into turn 14, using all of our battery. We have 0 battery left. Well, now that we're braking, it's being recovered, but we have Norris is peeking around the outside. We are not going to go look backward. Oh, yes, we are. And the finish line comes just soon enough. I think by the end of the straight he would have gotten us, but that is points. Point finish for the first race of our season. I don't know if that's actually legit, but we do turn up the difficulty, so it might not be such a good race in Spain. We're gonna do a completely different season, go Bahrain, Spain, Monaco, and then just after that it's kind of normal. I'm skipping Vietnam and a few others that I really hate, and I don't want to have another 7-hour recording session of Vietnam. So anyway, while Mercedes celebrates, Mercedes and McLaren got on the podium. Wow, that is good. We're not in this champion fight. We are a brand new team, so I don't expect to be. Those points are nice, and maybe we can continue it, but even then we don't need it for sponsors, so it's fine. But yeah, it's a good points finish. Hubert did well. He didn't get last, so that's good. We did say we were gonna be fighting with Williams. I think we'll keep it. I think I have to keep it. But eventually there will be a press interview and a rival and all that, so maybe I'll pick a higher rival to challenge us. But 10 and 13, it doesn't seem like I'm too out of the range, but we have some highlights as we end this video. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Where you have it. Next race is Spain. Hopefully I get this one out, and then later this week, hopefully Saturday, you'll see the Spain race, and maybe one day we'll get a full season where I can actually race at Vietnam and my computer doesn't crap itself. But we'll see how this goes. I've been streaming a lot, so maybe I'll see you in the streams. If not, I'll see you in the next one as we go to the end of this video. Have a nice night, and I'll see you in the next one.